Hi, and welcome to another art vlog. I'm so grateful that you're here. This week, I had the opportunity to go to the Museu Nacional d'Art de Catalunya. That's a mouthful. A beautiful museum housed in what looks like a palace on a famous hill in Barcelona called Montjuïc. I was especially drawn to the still life paintings of Feliu Elias. I loved his sense of composition and color, but mostly I loved losing myself in the story of his paintings. I also fell in love with these interior paintings by this artist. I will not even attempt his name. They really felt comforting to me. We stayed in the medieval town of Girona, and our Airbnb became the inspiration for my art as I thought about these two artists I just mentioned. Our apartment was right above a lovely little plaza where I could see and appreciate the architecture around me and the trees growing between where I was and the buildings. I loved the light in the room, and I just loved that European feeling that was really present. I love how the art of these two artists really reflected my own sense of compositional beauty. The interiors also gave me a safe and cozy feeling, but later, as I looked at the photos again, it was more of the feeling of belonging to myself, and I'll explain more of what I mean. It's really wonderful to identify the light in me in the art of others. I can't tell you how many years it has taken for me to be able to appreciate the art of others without feeling like my art isn't enough. I remember standing in front of a painting by Klimt in Venice years ago, feeling more inadequacy than awe. And I've tortured myself in the same way I hear many artists do, scrolling through Instagram, comparing my art to theirs. I've even collected screenshots and folders on my computer where I study how artists paint the way they do, with equal parts guilt and annoyance, feeling like the universe gave those artists special gifts and not me. So lately, it's been truly liberating to feel pure delight and eagerness to get my gouache out on the heels of feeling totally inspired by other artists. I could hardly wait to paint after this particular exhibit. With this artwork, I was excited to depict a scene that conveys the satiety and the gratitude I feel about my life. It's been a long road to get here, and I want to share this about it. I'm here because I've loved up the ugly parts, all the jealous feelings I have felt, and I've accepted the deep inadequacies. I told my son, who we were visiting in Spain, I just finally came to terms with the fact that I am a deeply insecure person. And he just put his arm around me, validating how okay it is to be who I am, just as I am. We all are. I feel very blessed to be loved, but I know that it begins with loving myself first. The silver lining in the acceptance of insecurity is the unexpected big dose of security that I actually feel. Who knew that that was how I would feel? It is infinitely less exhausting to accept responsibility for all of me than pretending that I've got it all together, like I spent many years doing. I used to look at something beautiful like a painting and project how I fell short in some way, and then I felt bad for feeling how I did. But when I began to wonder why I felt that way, the way I did, I traced it to an upbringing where I was constantly criticized. I began to understand that the feelings were coming up so I could do something different with them, like accept responsibility for continuing the critical pattern without blaming the past or the people who were responsible at that time. I was continuing the pattern, and it was time for me to own it. And also compassionately accept where I was, and then consciously change how I speak to myself in those moments when the feelings are coming up. Accepting them has really shifted many things, and especially with my own art. And I just wanted to share this with you. So if there's an opportunity for you to bring more awareness to your feelings when you're looking at the art of others, perhaps there's a way through for you by just wondering, where those feelings have come from and just giving them that loving attention that they need. Art is one of those rare gifts in life that will reflect exactly what needs our loving attention inside of ourselves. I think that to the extent that we can face these parts of ourselves that we feel uncomfortable with, we are rewarded with the ability to dwell in that space inside ourselves that is light and blissful, when we can look at the world and see and feel its beauty reflecting our own right back to us. When our art is enough, it's a good indicator that we are loving ourselves the way we are meant to. I hope you have a great week. Thank you so much for listening and being here, and happy creating.